mouth, mouth, sublingual gland, sublingual gland, submandibular gland, submandibular gland, liver, liver, gallbladder, gallbladder, cecum, cecum, vermiform appendix, vermiform appendix, parotid gland, parotid gland, pharynx, pharynx, esophagus, esophagus, stomach, stomach, pancreas, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, large intestine, rectum, rectum, lower esophageal sphincter, lower esophageal sphincter, esophagus, esophagus, cardiac orifice, cardiac orifice, pyloric sphincter, pyloric sphincter, duodenum, duodenum, fundus of stomach, fundus of stomach, body of stomach, body of stomach, rugae, rugae, pylorix region of stomach, pylorix region of stomach, pyloric canal, pyloric canal, serosa, serosa, pylorus, pylorus, oblique muscle layer, oblique muscle layer, circular muscle layer, circular muscle layer, longitudinal muscle layer, longitudinal muscle layer, duodenum, duodenum, ascending colon, ascending colon, cecum, cecum, appendix, appendix, ileum, ileum, stomach, stomach, jejunum, jejunum, mesentery, mesentery, right colic flexure, right colic flexure, omental appendices, omental appendices, haustra, haustra, peritoneum, peritoneum, omental tinea, omental tinea, ascending colon, ascending colon, phrygmenia, phrygmenia, semilunar folds, semilunar folds, ileal orifice, ileal orifice, ileum, ileum, cecum, cecum, vermiform appendix, vermiform appendix, rectum, rectum, levator ani muscle, levator ani muscle, external anal sphincter muscle, external anal sphincter muscle, greater omentum, greater omentum, transverse mesocolon, transverse mesocolon, transverse colon, transverse colon, semilunar fold, semilunar fold, rectosigmoid junction, rectosigmoid junction, left colic flexure, left colic flexure, descending colon, descending colon, mesocolic tinea, mesocolic tinea, sigmoid mesocolon, sigmoid mesocolon, sigmoid colon, sigmoid colon, coronary ligament, coronary ligament, right lobe, inferior vena cava, inferior vena cava, left lobe, round ligament, gallbladder, quadrate lobe, left lobe, hepatic duct, cystic duct, hepatic artery, portal vein, common bile duct, caudate lobe, left hepatic duct, right hepatic duct, cystic duct, common bile duct, gallbladder, minor duodenal papilla, duodenum, major duodenal papilla, common hepatic duct, pyloric sphincter, tail of pancreas, pancreatic duct, head of pancreas, duodenal papilla, hepatopancreatic sphincter, hepatopancreatic sphincter, hepatopancreatic ampulla, hepatopancreatic ampulla, hepatic ducts, right, neck, infundibulum, body, fundus, descending part of duodenum, hepatopancreatic ampulla, gallbladder, left, gland orifice, bile duct, pancreatic duct, adrenal gland, renal veins, hilum, kidney, renal artery, inferior vena cava, abdominal aorta, ureters, urinary bladder, urethra, pyramid and renal medulla, renal cortex, renal papilla, renal sinus, minor calyx, renal column, major calyx, renal artery, hilum of kidney, renal pelvis, ureter, urachus, ureter, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, urethra, urinary bladder, detrusor muscle, submucous layer, ureteral opening, mucus coat, trigon of urinary bladder, internal urethral sphincter, urinary bladder, symphysis pubis, vas deferens, urethra, corpus cavernosum, corpus spongiosum, penis, glans penis, prepuce, epididymis, testis, scrotum, large intestine, seminal vesicle, ejaculatory duct, prostate gland, bulbourethral gland, anus, external urethral sphincter, ureter, bulbourethral gland, ampulla of vas deferens, beginning of ejaculatory duct, ischiopubic ramus, deep transverse perineal muscle and fascia, bulb of penis, cris of penis, tunica albuginea, deep artery of penis, trigon of urinary bladder, uvula of bladder, urethral crest, opening of bulbourethral ducts, navicular fossa, external urethral opening, uterine tube, ovary, uterus, urinary bladder, urinary bladder, symphysis pubis, symphysis pubis, urethra, urethra, clitoris, clitoris, labium minus, labium minus, labium majus, labium majus, fimbri, fimbri, rectum, rectum, cervix, cervix, anus, anus, vaginal orifice, vaginal orifice, fendus of uterus, fendus of uterus, body of uterus, body of uterus, endometrium, endometrium, myometrium, myometrium, cervix, cervix, external os of uterus, external os of uterus, uterine tube, uterine tube, isthmus, isthmus, ampulla, ampulla, infundibulum, infundibulum, fimbri, fimbri, right common carotid artery, right common carotid artery, right subclavian artery, right subclavian artery, brachiocephalic artery, brachiocephalic artery, ascending aorta, ascending aorta, right coronary artery, right coronary artery, hepatic artery, hepatic artery, right gastric artery, right gastric artery, suprarenal artery, suprarenal artery, right renal artery, right renal artery, gonadal artery, gonadal artery, right external iliac artery, right external iliac artery, left common carotid artery, left common carotid artery, left subclavian artery, left subclavian artery, aortic arch, aortic arch, left coronary artery, left coronary artery, abdominal aorta, abdominal aorta, left gastric artery, left gastric artery, splenic artery, splenic artery, celiac artery, celiac artery, superior mesenteric artery, superior mesenteric artery, lumbar artery, lumbar artery, inferior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric artery, median sacral artery, median sacral artery, left external iliac artery, left external iliac artery, inferior phrenic artery, inferior phrenic artery, celiac artery, celiac artery, right renal artery, right renal artery, testicular artery, testicular artery, ovarian artery, ovarian artery, median sacral artery, median sacral artery, deep circumflexiliac artery, deep circumflexiliac artery, inferior epigastric artery, inferior epigastric artery, inguinal ligament, inguinal ligament, left renal artery, left renal artery, superior mesenteric artery, superior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric artery, common iliac artery, common iliac artery, internal iliac artery, internal iliac artery, external iliac artery, external iliac artery, femoral artery, femoral artery, hepatic vein, hepatic vein, hepatic duct, hepatic duct, portal vein, portal vein, hepatic artery, hepatic artery, left gastric artery, left gastric artery, celiac artery, celiac artery, right gastric artery, right gastric artery, common hepatic artery, common hepatic artery, gastroduodenal artery, gastroduodenal artery, right gastroomental artery, right gastroomental artery, superior pancreaticoduodenal artery, superior pancreaticoduodenal artery, posterior pancreaticoduodenal artery, posterior pancreaticoduodenal artery, interior superior pancreaticoduodenal artery, interior superior pancreaticoduodenal artery, duodenum, duodenum, posterior inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery, posterior inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery, interior inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery, interior inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery, short gastric arteries, spleen, left gastrometal artery, splenic artery, pancreas, inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery, superior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric artery, middle colic artery, right colic artery, ascending colon, iliacolic artery, interior cecal artery, posterior cecal artery, appendicular artery, transverse colon, inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery, superior mesenteric artery, jejunum, jejunal arteries, vasa recta, ileal artery, ileum, appendicular, ascending branch of left colic artery, abdominal aorta, duodenum, left colic artery, inferior mesenteric artery, superior rectal artery, rectum, descending colon, descending branch of left colic artery, sigmoid colon artery, gallbladder, liver, right gastric vein, hepatic portal vein, duodenum, pancreas, pancreatico-duodenal veins, superior mesenteric vein, ascending colon, inferior vena cava, stomach, spleen, splenic vein, left gastric vein, right gastrometal vein, transverse colon, inferior mesenteric vein, descending colon, small intestine, rectum, lung, costal cartilage, right lobe of liver, umbilicus, heart, left lobe of liver, abdominal skin, right lung, right ventricle, right hepatic vein, middle hepatic vein, hepatic portal vein, common bile duct, pancreatic duct, gallbladder, right common iliac artery, left lung, left ventricle, left hepatic vein, stomach, superior mesenteric vein, superior mesenteric vein, jejunum, jejunum, pancreas head, abdominal aorta, abdominal aorta, left common iliac artery, left common iliac artery, iliac bone, right lung, right lung, right ventricle, hepatic vein, superior mesenteric vein, superior mesenteric vein, right renal artery, inferior vena cava, duodenum, ascending colon, right common iliac artery, left lung, spleen, stomach, left renal artery, jejunum, abdominal aorta, descending colon, left common iliac artery, vertebral body, right lobe of liver, right suprarenal gland, right kidney, psoas muscle, iliac bone, sacroiliac joint, intervertebral disc, left kidney, spinal canal, sacrum, right lung, ascending aorta, right atrium, right lobe of liver, fissure for ligamentum teres, gallbladder, pyloric antrum of stomach, visceral adipose tissue, left lung, left ventricle, left hemidiaphragm, left lobe of liver, stomach, pancreas, jejunum, superior mesenteric artery, subcutaneous adipose tissue, superior vena cava, hepatic portal vein, common bile duct, second part of duodenum, ampulla of Vader, ascending colon, inferior vena cava, aortic arch, pulmonary trunk, spleen, splenic vein, superior mesenteric vein, pancreatic duct, abdominal aorta, right lung, right main bronchus, right ventricle, right lobe of liver, inferior vena cava, right renal artery, right kidney, ascending colon, aortic arch, left main bronchus, left lung, left ventricle, stomach, spleen, splenic vein, splenic artery, abdominal aorta, left renal artery, psoas muscle, right cricep diaphragm, right suprarenal gland, right suprarenal gland, vertebral body, intervertebral disc, spinal canal, thoracic aorta, left crus of diaphragm, left suprarenal gland, left kidney, descending colon, right atrium, right lobe of liver, inferior vena cava, azygos vein, right lung, spinal cord, erector spinae muscle, right ventricle, left ventricle, visceral adipose tissue, esophagus, aorta, spleen, left lung, middle hepatic vein, right hepatic vein, spinal canal, left lobe of liver, stomach, hemiazygos vein, hepatic portal vein, caudate lobe of liver, fissure for ligamentum venosum, splenic vein, splenic artery, left hemidiaphragm, fissure for ligamentum teres, right lobe of liver, gallbladder, hepatic portal vein, inferior vena cava, right suprarenal gland, right crus of diaphragm, spinal cord, erector spinae muscle, left lobe of liver, fissure for ligamentum venosum, stomach, pancreas body, splenic vein, splenic artery, aorta, left suprarenal gland, left crus of diaphragm, spleen, common bile duct, right kidney, cauda equina, superior mesenteric vein, celiac trunk, left kidney, transverse colon, superior mesenteric artery, transverse colon, pancreas head, common bile duct, inferior vena cava, right lobe of liver, right kidney, cauda equina, erector spinae muscle, superior mesenteric vein, superior mesenteric artery, jejunum, left renal vein, aorta, left renal artery, spleen, left kidney, hepatic flexure, right renal vein, splenic flexure, psoas muscle, right atrium, right lobe of liver, inferior vena cava, inferior vena cava, azygos vein, azygos vein, right lung, spinal cord, erector spiny muscle, right ventricle, left ventricle, visceral adipose tissue, esophagus, aorta, spleen, left lung, middle hepatic vein, right hepatic vein, spinal canal, left lobe of liver, stomach, hemiazygos vein, caudate lobe of liver, hepatic portal vein, fissure for ligamentum venosum, splenic vein, splenic artery, left hemidiaphragm, fissure for ligamentum teres, right lobe of liver, gallbladder, hepatic portal vein, inferior vena cava, right suprarenal gland, right crus of diaphragm, spinal cord, erector spiny muscle, fissure for ligamentum venosum, left lobe of liver, stomach, pancreas body, splenic vein, splenic artery, aorta, left suprarenal gland, left crus of diaphragm, spleen, common bile duct, right kidney, cauda equina, superior mesenteric vein, transverse colon, celiac trunk, left kidney, superior mesenteric artery, transverse colon, pancreas head, common bile duct, inferior vena cava, right lobe of liver, right kidney, cauda equina, erector spiny muscle, superior mesenteric vein, superior mesenteric artery, jejunum, left renal vein, aorta, left renal artery, spleen, left kidney, hepatic flexure, right renal vein, psoas muscle, splenic flexure, rectus abdominis muscle, ileum, fundus of uterus, vesicouterine pouch, uterine cervix, external los uterus, urinary bladder, vagina, pubis, external vaginal opening, labium majus, labium minus, fifth lumbar vertebra, cauda cauda equina, sacrum, sacrum, phylum terminale, uterine myometrium, uterine myometrium, uterine endometrium, uterine endometrium, uterine cavity, rectouterine pouch, rectouterine pouch, coccyx, rectum, fatty layer between vagina and rectum, anal canal, anus, left external iliac artery, left internal iliac artery, sigmoid colon, obturator internus muscle, left external iliac vein, piriformis muscle, rectosigmoid junction, ovary, gluteus maximus muscle, ischiorectal fossa, superficial epigastric artery, iliac bone, iliopsoas muscle, right common femoral artery, right common femoral vein, rectus femoris muscle, vastus lateralis muscle, pubic bone, rectus abdominis muscle, left common femoral artery, left common femoral vein, urinary bladder, pubic symphysis, labium majus, ileum, right external iliac artery, gluteus minimus muscle, femoral head, clitoris, labium minus, psoas muscle, sigmoid colon, left external iliac artery, acetabulum, adductor longus muscle, fifth lumbar vertebra, right common iliac artery, right common iliac vein, gluteus medius muscle, femoral neck, vagina, deep transverse perineal muscle, femur shaft, left common iliac artery, left common iliac vein, rectosigmoid junction, obturator internus muscle, obturator externus muscle, ischium, iliac bone, sacrum, right internal iliac artery, uterine cavity, uterus, uterine cervix, external los uterus, vagina fornix, deep transverse perineal muscle, gluteal fold, spinal canal, sacroiliac joint, left internal iliac artery, gluteus maximus muscle, levator ani muscle, levator ani muscle, obturator internus muscle, obturator internus muscle, ischium, ischium, ischiorectal fossa, ischiorectal fossa, sacral nerves, fundus of uterus, anal canal, anus, piriformis muscle, left ovary, transversus spinales muscles, right ovary, uterine and rectal venous plexus, coccyx, external anal sphincter muscle, longissimus muscle, rectum, natal cleft, psoas muscle, iliacus muscle, right external iliac artery, right external iliac vein, ileum, iliac bone, right internal iliac artery, sacroiliac joint, spinal canal, rectus abdominis muscle, sigmoid colon, left internal iliac artery, gluteus minimus muscle, gluteus medius muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, rectum, sacrum, iliacus muscle, right external iliac artery, right external iliac vein, iliac bone, uterus, uterine cavity, right internal iliac artery, piriformis muscle, spinal canal, rectus abdominis muscle, left internal iliac artery, rectosigmoid junction, gluteus minimus muscle, gluteus medius muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, rectum, sacrum, right external iliac artery, right external iliac vein, iliac bone, right internal iliac artery, uterus, uterine cavity, right ovary, sacrum, left external iliac artery, left external iliac vein, urinary bladder, left internal iliac artery, left ovary, rectouterine pouch, rectum, gluteus maximus muscle, right common femoral vein, right common femoral artery, pubic bone, urinary bladder, femoral neck, vagina, rectum, ischium, left common femoral vein, left common femoral artery, pectineus muscle, pectineus muscle, obturator internus muscle, obturator internus muscle, levator ani muscle, levator ani muscle, ischiorectal fossa, ischiorectal fossa, gluteus maximus muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, right common femoral vein, right common femoral vein, right common femoral artery, right common femoral artery, pubic bone, urinary bladder, urinary bladder, urethra, urethra, vagina, vagina, rectum, rectum, ischium, ischium, pubic symphysis, pubic symphysis, left common femoral vein, left common femoral vein, left common femoral artery, left common femoral artery, pectineus muscle, pectineus muscle, iliopsoas muscle, iliopsoas muscle, obturator externus muscle, obturator externus muscle, obturator internus muscle, obturator internus muscle, levator ani muscle, levator ani muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, right great saphenous vein, right great saphenous vein, right superficial femoral vein, right superficial femoral vein, right superficial femoral artery, right superficial femoral artery, pubic bone, urethra, urethra, vagina, vagina, anorectal junction, anorectal junction, anal canal, anus, anus, pubic symphysis, pubic symphysis, left great saphenous vein, left great saphenous vein, left superficial femoral artery, left superficial femoral artery, left superficial femoral vein, left superficial femoral vein, pectineus muscle, pectineus muscle, adductor longus muscle, adductor longus muscle, iliopsoas muscle, iliopsoas muscle, obturator externus muscle, obturator externus muscle, obturator internus muscle, obturator internus muscle, pubrectalis muscle, pubrectalis muscle, ischial tuberosity, ischial tuberosity, gluteus maximus muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, natal cleft, natal cleft, right great saphenous vein, right great saphenous vein, right superficial femoral artery, right superficial femoral artery, right superficial femoral vein, right superficial femoral vein, right profunda femoris artery, right profunda femoris artery, clitoris, clitoris, urethra, urethra, vagina vestibule, vagina vestibule, external anal sphincter muscle, external anal sphincter muscle, mons pubis, left great saphenous vein, left great saphenous vein, left superficial femoral vein, left superficial femoral vein, left superficial femoral artery, left superficial femoral artery, left profunda femoris artery, left profunda femoris artery, adductor longus muscle, adductor longus muscle, obturator externus muscle, obturator externus muscle, clitoris cris, pubrectalis muscle, ischial tuberosity, ischial tuberosity, gluteus maximus muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, natal cleft, right great saphenous vein, right great saphenous vein, right superficial femoral artery, right superficial femoral artery, right superficial femoral vein, right superficial femoral vein, right profunda femoris artery, right profunda femoris artery, labium majus, labium majus, labium minus, vaginal opening, vaginal opening, facet, facet, left great saphenous vein, left great saphenous vein, left superficial femoral vein, left superficial femoral vein, left superficial femoral artery, left superficial femoral artery, left profundifemoris artery, left profundifemoris artery, adductor longus muscle, adductor longus muscle, obturator externus muscle, obturator externus muscle, ischium, ischium, gluteus maximus muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, natal cleft, natal cleft, rectus abdominis muscle, rectus abdominis muscle, sigmoid colon, sigmoid colon, urinary bladder, urinary bladder, prostatic urethra, prostatic urethra, prostate, prostate, retropubic space, retropubic space, pubic symphysis, pubic symphysis, corpus cavernosum of penis, corpus cavernosum of penis, corpus spongiosum of penis, corpus spongiosum of penis, sacrum, sacrum, phylum terminale, phylum terminale, superior rectal artery, superior rectal artery, rectosigmoid junction, rectosigmoid junction, seminal vesicle, seminal vesicle, coccyx, coccyx, benign prostatic hyperplasia, benign prostatic hyperplasia, rectum, rectum, levator ani muscle, levator ani muscle, anal canal, anal canal, anus, anus, external anal sphincter muscle, external anal sphincter muscle, pubis, pubis, obturator externus muscle, obturator externus muscle, ischium, ischium, internal iliac artery and vein, internal iliac artery and vein, piriformis muscle, piriformis muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, ischioanal fossa, ischioanal fossa, obturator internus muscle, obturator internus muscle, psoas muscle, psoas muscle, iliopsoas muscle, iliopsoas muscle, urinary bladder, urinary bladder, pubis, pubis, pubic symphysis, pubic symphysis, corpus cavernosum of penis, corpus cavernosum of penis, sigmoid colon, sigmoid colon, left external iliac artery, left external iliac artery, left external iliac vein, left external iliac vein, obturator artery, obturator artery, pectineus muscle, pectineus muscle, corpus spongiosum of penis, corpus spongiosum of penis, iliacus muscle, iliacus muscle, superior rectal artery, superior rectal artery, vesical venous plexus, vesical venous plexus, acetabulum, acetabulum, prostate, prostate, femoral head, sacrum, sacrum, left internal iliac vein, left internal iliac vein, left internal iliac artery, left internal iliac artery, rectosigmoid junction, rectosigmoid junction, iliac bone, iliac bone, obturator internus muscle, obturator internus muscle, obturator externus muscle, obturator externus muscle, urethra, urethra, iliacus muscle, iliacus muscle, superior rectal artery, superior rectal artery, vesical venous plexus, vesical venous plexus, urinary bladder, urinary bladder, acetabulum, acetabulum, prostate, prostate, femoral head, pubis, pubis, corpus cavernosum of penis, corpus cavernosum of penis, sacrum, sacrum, sacral nerves, left internal iliac vein, left internal iliac vein, left internal iliac artery, left internal iliac artery, seminal vesicle, seminal vesicle, obturator internus muscle, obturator internus muscle, ischium, ischium, ischial tuberosity, ischial tuberosity, iliac bone, iliac bone, sacroiliac joint, sacroiliac joint, right internal iliac vein, right internal iliac vein, gluteus medius muscle, gluteus medius muscle, piriformis muscle, piriformis muscle, left internal iliac vein, left internal iliac vein, levator ani muscle, levator ani muscle, anal canal, anal canal, anus, anus, external anal sphincter muscle, external anal sphincter muscle, right external iliac artery, right external iliac artery, right external iliac vein, right external iliac vein, urinary bladder, urinary bladder, vesical venous plexus, vesical venous plexus, seminal vesicle, seminal vesicle, rectum, rectum, gluteus maximus muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, rectus abdominis muscle, rectus abdominis muscle, iliopsoas muscle, iliopsoas muscle, iliac bone, iliac bone, acetabulum, acetabulum, femoral head, femoral head, obturator internus muscle, obturator internus muscle, ischium, ischium, sacrum, sacrum, right common femoral artery, right common femoral artery, right common femoral vein, right common femoral vein, urinary bladder, urinary bladder, vesicourethral junction, vesicourethral junction, prostate, prostate, rectum, rectum, gluteus maximus muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, rectus abdominis muscle, rectus abdominis muscle, left common femoral artery, left common femoral artery, left common femoral vein, left common femoral vein, iliopsoas muscle, iliopsoas muscle, acetabulum, acetabulum, prostatic venous plexus, prostatic venous plexus, femoral head, obturator internus muscle, obturator internus muscle, ischium, ischium, sacrum, sacrum, right common femoral vein, right common femoral vein, right common femoral artery, right common femoral artery, pubic symphysis, pubic symphysis, prostatic venous plexus, prostatic venous plexus, urethra, urethra, rectum, rectum, ischiorectal fossa, ischiorectal fossa, gluteus maximus muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, left common femoral artery, left common femoral artery, left common femoral vein, left common femoral vein, pectineus muscle, pectineus muscle, obturator externus muscle, obturator externus muscle, femoral head, ischium, ischium, levator ani muscle, levator ani muscle, coccyx, coccyx, right great saphenous vein, right great saphenous vein, right superficial femoral vein, right superficial femoral vein, right superficial femoral artery, right superficial femoral artery, right profunda femoris artery, right profunda femoris artery, urethra, urethra, ramus ischium, anal canal, ischiorectal fossa, ischiorectal fossa, gluteus maximus muscle, gluteus maximus muscle, corpus cavernosum of penis, corpus cavernosum of penis, left great saphenous vein, left great saphenous vein, left superficial femoral artery, left superficial femoral artery, left profunda femoris artery, left profunda femoris artery, left superficial femoral vein, left superficial femoral vein, adductor longus muscle, adductor longus muscle, adductor brevis muscle, adductor brevis muscle, adductor magnus muscle, adductor magnus muscle, pubrectalis muscle, pubrectalis muscle, natal cleft, natal cleft, right ventricle, right ventricle, right lung, right lung, right lobe of liver, right lobe of liver, hepatic vein, hepatic vein, costophrenic angle, costophrenic angle, gallbladder, gallbladder, duodenum, duodenum, ascending colon, ascending colon, iliac bone, iliac bone, ileum, ileum, urinary bladder, urinary bladder, right common femoral artery, right common femoral artery, pubis, pubis, thigh, thigh, left ventricle, left ventricle, left lung, rib, rib, hepatic portal vein, hepatic portal vein, stomach, stomach, pancreas body, pancreas body, jejunum, jejunum, transverse colon, transverse colon, descending colon, descending colon, left common femoral vein, left common femoral vein, left common femoral artery, left common femoral artery, labium majus, labium majus, middle hepatic vein, middle hepatic vein, left hepatic portal vein, left hepatic portal vein, main portal vein, main portal vein, pancreas head, hepatic flexure, right external iliac artery, right external iliac artery, right external iliac vein, right external iliac vein, right profunda femoris artery, right profunda femoris artery, right superficial femoral vein, right superficial femoral vein, right superficial femoral artery, right superficial femoral artery, left hepatic vein, left hepatic vein, left lobe of liver, left lobe of liver, left hemidiaphragm, left hemidiaphragm, spleen, spleen, splenic artery, splenic artery, splenic vein, superior mesenteric artery, superior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric vein, inferior mesenteric vein, left external iliac artery, left external iliac artery, left external iliac vein, left external iliac vein, pubic symphysis, right ventricle, middle hepatic vein, left gastric artery, main portal vein, gallbladder, pancreas head, aorta, superior mesenteric vein, ascending colon, iliac bone, right external iliac artery, right external iliac artery, right external iliac vein, right external iliac vein, ileum, urinary bladder, right profunda femoris artery, right profunda femoris artery, right superficial femoral artery, right superficial femoral artery, left ventricle, stomach, spleen, celiac trunk, splenic vein, superior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric vein, jejunum, jejunum, descending colon, descending colon, left external iliac artery, left external iliac artery, left external iliac vein, left external iliac vein, femoral head, pubic symphysis, pubic symphysis, right hepatic vein, right hepatic vein, inferior vena cava, inferior vena cava, right kidney, right kidney, right common iliac artery, right common iliac artery, acetabulum, acetabulum, splenic flexure, splenic flexure, left renal vein, transverse colon, left common iliac artery, femur, right lobe of liver, inferior vena cava, right renal artery, right renal vein, right kidney, ascending colon, right internal iliac artery, right internal iliac vein, iliac bone, acetabulum, femoral head, greater trochanter of femur, ramus ischium, aorta, stomach, spleen, splenic vein, left renal artery, left renal vein, descending colon, jejunum, lumbar vertebra, psoas muscle, left internal iliac artery, left internal iliac vein, ileum, sigmoid colon, femoral neck, vagina, femur, right crus of diaphragm, right suprarenal gland, sacroiliac joint, uterus, uterine cervix, lesser trochanter of femur, hemiazygos vein, left suprarenal gland, left kidney, fifth lumbar vertebra, sacrum, ischium, right lobe of liver, right kidney, iliac bone, sacroiliac joint, fundus of uterus, uterine cavity, uterine cervix, anal canal, ischial tuberosity, spleen, left kidney, psoas muscle, sacrum, rectum, uterine venous plexus, ischium, spinal cord, left ovary, costal cartilage, right lobe of liver, hepatic flexure, ascending colon, right superficial femoral artery, right lung, rip, right kidney, iliac bone, acetabulum, femoral head, ischium, right atrium, right atrium, hepatic vein, hepatic vein, right portal vein, right portal vein, main portal vein, main portal vein, stomach antrum, stomach antrum, rectus abdominis muscle, rectus abdominis muscle, right external iliac artery, right external iliac artery, transverse colon, transverse colon, sigmoid colon, sigmoid colon, ileum, ileum, urinary bladder, urinary bladder, pubis, pubis, pancreas head, pancreas head, inferior vena cava, inferior vena cava, fifth lumbar vertebra, fifth lumbar vertebra, right internal iliac artery, right internal iliac artery, sacrum, sacrum, uterus, uterus, vagina, vagina, right ventricle, left lobe of liver, left lobe of liver, celiac trunk, celiac trunk, superior mesenteric artery, superior mesenteric artery, main portal vein, main portal vein, stomach body, transverse colon, uterus, uterus, ileum, ileum, urinary bladder, pubis, pubis, left ventricle, aorta, aorta, superior mesenteric vein, sacrum, sacrum, sigmoid colon, rectum, rectum, coccyx, coccyx, vagina, vagina, pancreastale, pancreastale, jejunum, jejunum, left external iliac artery, left external iliac artery, left external iliac vein, left external iliac vein, left lung, spleen, spleen, left kidney, psoas muscle, iliac bone, left internal iliac artery, ischial tuberosity, left hepatic vein, middle hepatic vein, right hepatic vein, inferior vena cava, right lung, costal cartilage, rip, left lung, esophagus, aorta, hemiazygos vein, spinal cord, erector spinae muscle, round ligament, caudate lobe of liver, right portal vein, right lobe of liver, lumbar artery, left lobe of liver, stomach, celiac trunk, splenic vein, spleen, left suprarenal gland, left kidney, fissure for ligamentum teres, common hepatic artery, main portal vein, right crus of diaphragm, splenic artery, rectus abdominis muscle, splenic flexure of colon, pancreastale, left crus of diaphragm, round ligament, proper hepatic artery, main portal vein, inferior vena cava, inferior vena cava, right portal vein branch, right portal vein branch, right lobe of liver, right lobe of liver, right kidney, spinous process, fissure for ligamentum teres, splenic artery, stomach, descending colon, splenic vein, aorta, superior mesenteric artery, left kidney, erector spinae muscle, gallbladder, right renal artery, pancreas body, left renal vein, pancreas head, duodenum, right renal vein, psoas muscle, superior mesenteric vein, jejunal artery, jejunum, spleen, right common iliac artery, transverse colon, ascending colon, psoas muscle, iliac bone, right common iliac vein, jejunum, left common iliac artery, descending colon, sacrum, erector spinae muscle, right external iliac artery, sacroiliac joint, right internal iliac artery, left external iliac artery, left internal iliac artery, left common iliac vein, cecum, right internal iliac vein, sigmoid colon, right internal iliac vein, ileum, left external iliac vein, left internal iliac vein, right external iliac vein, right external iliac vein, right external iliac artery, iliac bone, ileum, uterus, vagina, sacrum, left external iliac artery, left external iliac vein, sigmoid colon, left ovary, rectum, right common femoral vein, right common femoral artery, femoral head, coccyx, left common femoral artery, left common femoral vein, acetabulum, ischium, gluteus maximus muscle, right superficial femoral artery, right profunda femoral artery, right superficial femoral vein, anus, natal cleft, pubic symphysis, left superficial femoral artery, left profunda femoral artery, left profundifemoral artery, left superficial femoral vein, left superficial femoral vein, femoral neck, superior vena cava, superior vena cava, right atrium, right ventricle, proper hepatic artery, common hepatic artery, gastroduodenal artery, right renal artery, right common iliac artery, right external iliac artery, right internal iliac artery, right internal iliac artery, right common femoral artery, right superficial femoral artery, right profundifemoral artery, ascending aorta, pulmonary artery, left atrium, left ventricle, descending aorta, splenic artery, celiac trunk, left renal artery, superior mesenteric artery, left common iliac artery, left external iliac artery, left internal iliac artery, left common femoral artery, left superficial femoral artery, left profundifemoral artery, left pulmonary artery, right hepatic artery, proper hepatic artery, gastroduodenal artery, celiac trunk, left hepatic artery, left gastric artery, common hepatic artery, splenic artery, descending aorta, catheter in aorta, right renal artery, lumbar artery, left renal artery, middle colic artery, right colic artery, iliac artery branches, superior mesenteric artery, jejunal artery branches, ileal artery, inferior mesenteric artery, superior rectal artery, ascending branch of left colic artery, left colic artery, descending branch of left colic artery, sigmoid artery, right kidney, psoas muscle, sacroiliac joint, sacrum, coccyx, ischium, left kidney, iliac wing, bladder, hep joint, pubic symphysis, colon gas, ureteropelvic junction, iliac artery bifurcation, ureterovesical junction, renal pelvis, renal calyx, ureter, ureter, epiglottic vallecula, epiglottic vallecula, esophagus, esophagus, piriform sinus, piriform sinus, aortic arch, aortic arch, heart, heart, esophagogastric junction, esophagogastric junction, lesser curvature, duodenal bulb, duodenal bulb, pylorus, pylorus, gastric fundus, gastric fundus, gastric body, incisor angularis, incisor angularis, greater curvature, entrum, entrum, duodenum, duodenum, entrum, entrum, ascending colon, gastric fundus, gastric body, jejunum, ileum, right colic flexure, transverse colon, terminal ileum, ileocecal valve, cecum, appendix, left colic flexure, descending colon, sigmoid colon, rectum, right hepatic duct, cystic duct, gallbladder, endoscope, catheter, left hepatic duct, common hepatic duct, common bile duct, pancreatic duct, hepatopancreatic ampulla, liver, diaphragm, lung, heart, middle hepatic vein, right hepatic vein, inferior vena cava, hepatic portal vein, ligamentum venosum, bile duct, pancreas, superior mesenteric artery, splenic vein, abdominal aorta, spine, liver, intrahepatic duct, hepatic portal vein, gallbladder, superior mesenteric artery, abdominal aorta, capsule of kidney, right kidney, diaphragm, renal sinus, spleen, splenic vein, rectus abdominis muscle, urinary bladder, prostate gland, rectum,